You know, I've seen it way too often, folks, in forums or comment sections saying things like, forget the air gun, just grab yourself a 22 long rifle. It's cheaper and does the same job. That line gets tossed around a lot. And honestly, that's what pushed me to make this video, because I think people saying that might not be looking at the entire picture. So today, we're going to put an air gun head-to-head with a 22 long rifle in 3 areas: overall cost, precision, and hitting power. Let's start with price. For this comparison, I'm using the Karma SLS Compact chambered in .22 caliber as our air gun, and for the Rimfire, it's the Bear Creek Arsenal Model 2011, which is functionally very similar to a Ruger 10-22. Now, most folks will assume right away that the 22 long rifle setup is going to be the cheaper route. But let's break this down and take a hard look at what each setup actually runs you. First, we've got the Karma SLS. This is a semi-auto air rifle with a fully shrouded barrel, so it's extremely quiet. You can have it delivered right to your doorstep for around $1,350, no waiting, no transfer hassle. Now compare that with the Bear Creek Model 2011. The base rifle itself only costs around $400 once it's transferred through your local FL. Sounds like a steal, right? But if you want to make that Rimfire as quiet as the air gun, you'll need to add a suppressor. That's going to run you roughly $550 for the can, then tack on another $200 for the tax stamp. You'll also be dealing with transfer fees and a waiting period that can stretch for months. Add it all up, and the cost difference starts to disappear. Honestly, it ends up being pretty close to what you'd pay for the Karma SLS. Except with the air gun, you get it shipped straight to your door, and you're shooting quietly from day one, no red tape, no paperwork. And don't forget, you can also find non-semi-auto air guns that are whisper quiet and go for way less than $500. So if your goal is a quiet shooting setup, I think it's pretty clear. Air guns come out ahead in the price department. Next up, let's move on to accuracy. We're going to see how both of these platforms perform at 100 yards and find out which one really delivers downrange. So we ran both groups, the air rifle and the Rimfire, and honestly, it's a close match. I'm really pleased with the results. That Karma air rifle can absolutely hang with your average 22 long rifle in the accuracy department. Take a look, we sent 6 rounds downrange with the JSB Hades pellets. You can count them right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clean hits. Then over here, we tried out some Air Arms 21 grain rounds, 5 shots total. And right up here, we've got the Bear Creek Arsenal 22 long rifle punching out a 5-round group of its own. So if you're judging by group size and shot consistency, both platforms are neck and neck. They're semi-automatic, they're quiet, and both offer unique perks. One thing I really like about the SLS is that it lets you switch between semi-auto and side lever mode. If you're after maximum stealth, that side lever option makes a world of difference. Throw a solid suppressor on there, run it in manual mode, and it's practically whisper quiet, seriously, mouse fart level quiet. Honestly, I think in terms of sound suppression, the air rifle might even have a slight edge. If true silence is your top priority, that might just tip the scale. So yeah, that wraps up the accuracy portion, and I'd say it was a fair and solid comparison. Most semi-auto air rifles these days are going to be right in line with typical semi-auto 22 long rifles when it comes to grouping at 100 yards. Now let's move on to what everyone's curious about stopping power. For this test, we're putting Airgun West hollow point explosive pellets up against CCI subsonic hollow points in 22 long rifle. Let's find out which one hits harder. First up, we hit the clay block with the air rifle. Velocity clocked in at 883 feet per second. Good solid strike. Landed a touch high, but the impact crater on the front face of the block is legit. I'm definitely curious to see how deep that force went. So let's open these clay blocks and get a closer look at the internal damage. Starting with the 22 long rifle, we got about 6.5 inches of penetration, with a permanent cavity roughly 3 inches wide. The projectile mushroomed perfectly textbook rimfire performance. Switching over to the explosive pellet, the entry crater looks just as aggressive. And we actually got similar or even slightly deeper penetration. Expansion wasn't quite as wide, around 2.5 inches, but here's the crazy part. As that pellet expanded, it tunneled through the clay and left this long channel, almost like a noodle, from the internal pressure burst. I have shot a lot of pellets in my time, and I've never seen one behave quite like that. It was wild. This whole test was an absolute blast, literally. Hope you had as much fun watching as I did filming it. Those explosive pellets are no joke. That thing was still venting smoke long after impact. Bottom line, there's no clear-cut winner here. But what's obvious is that the air rifle kept pace with the 22 long rifle across the board. Accuracy? Right there. Power? Surprisingly close, maybe even a little more shocking with the explosive rounds. Honestly, after seeing the damage that air rifle laid down, I think I'd almost rather take a hit from the 22 long rifle. Not that I want to get hit by either, but you get what I'm saying. Those pellets pack serious punch when they're dialed in. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to keep hanging out, I've got a couple more videos lined up on screen for you now. The one up top dives deeper into the power tests we just ran between the 22 long rifle and the Airgun. So if you're hungry for more clay carnage, be sure to click that. Until next time, shoot straight, stay free, and God bless you guys.